about our full DraftKings lineup, and then I'll review the bets, the bet of the card, because Real Mike messaged me about this card, messaged me about this fight for our bet, and we have a very particular kind of bet that takes agreement from both men. Going with men here, 6'4", I'd call myself a man, and
a big man.
Yeah, there you go. And there, and this is one of them. We we will only do a max bet if we both agree, and I am 100% in all on this one. And judging by talking with Mike Gills earlier, this is kind of like this is just a trinity of decision going on right here. So I'm going to go with Real Mike first because you were the one that messaged out first. So I'm giving you full credit for the initial inkling here. We have Brian T-City Ortega plus 160 versus Chan Sung Jung, the Korean Zombie, minus 185. By all means, wax poetic.
Man, the Korean Zombie, one of my favorite fighters, is just so well-rounded, super exciting. Anywhere it goes, whether it's on the ground or it's standing, cardio-wise, has the full gas tank, everything that you need in a mixed martial artist. He is absolutely deadly too. The guy's IQ in real life is just up there. Brian Ortega, his jiu-jitsu is amazing. Of course, great jiu-jitsu black belt, absolutely unreal. Has an unreal guillotine choke that ended up getting him pretty much this far in his career when he's subbing people by Hail Marys. But in real life, that just doesn't get you. That doesn't get you in the upper echelon. He was throwing out Hail Mary subs and landing them, which were fucking unreal, blowing my mind. But that's not going to work here. Korean Zombie throws so much more volume. Brian T-City Ortega takes that volume. He absorbs that volume per minute more than Korean Zombie does. He's going to have a real big problem with the hands and the takedown defense of Korean Zombie. I think that once Ortega gives his best 1-2 rounds, Korean Zombie is going to absolutely just beat the fucking shit out of his face. His face is going to be minced up, battered, and bruised. He's going to absolutely learn a lesson here for calling out Korean Zombie and his manager disrespecting him. So this is why we're calling out a max bet here. The only person that even Yair Rodriguez fucking got lucky, man. He was losing that whole fight. Pretty much to me, he was going to lose it. We had a bet on that. I might have been a max bet even at that as well. But the point is here, Korean Zombie, we back him here. We got him. He's friggin' dedicated to his country. He's dedicated to his art. That motherfucker is a mixed martial artist, a ninja. He's a savage. Brian T-City Ortega got himself in trouble by calling out this guy. But so Korean Zombie, max bet. What's the odds up, Bob?
Minus 185.
Jeez, that's a beautiful number for that. Oh, I love it. 5 units on the Korean Zombie to show Brian T-City Ortega how to do that thing.
And that would be to win 2.7 units. Don't worry, I will repeat that later. In terms of my side of this one, I'm 100% with Real Mike on this one, but also with some reasoning outside of the cage. Now, anyone who's excited for this fight knows about some of the backstory. Now, you have a lot of bad blood going here, and you have Ortega who's taking it serious. Now, he's not the type of dude that when he takes it serious, he wants to hurt you. He wants to hurt you bad. He wants to throw hands. The biggest calming factor in Brian Ortega's life, his entire life, since he was an early teenager, has been Rener Gracie. Rener Gracie, week out from the fight, test positive for COVID. He's not making the trip to Abu Dhabi. He will not be able to calm Brian Ortega down. He's going to come to throw hands. The dude's going against Max Holloway. He decides to box with him. Terrible idea. He's completely revamped his camp, sure, and hasn't fought in almost 2 years. So, I mean, there's that time out of the cage, obviously, not to mention tore LCL in his knee, or whatever. He tore a ligament in his knee over the course of that when they were going to fight the first time. Is just utterly angry at Korean Zombie, his translator, the K-pop star who he ended up slapping. There's so much emotion in here. He's coming in to hurt. He's coming in to throw hands. He's not coming in to grapple. And I'm sorry, I don't care if you spent 2 years on your boxing and your striking. Your offensive striking was great. Your defensive was terrible. It's why Max Holloway ate you up. Korean Zombie will do the same exact thing. And he just does not have the striking acumen to be able to handle the, I'm going to say, controlled chaos, because he was doing the Korean Zombie because he ran in, got hit a bunch, hit you more, crazy fight. Now it's controlled chaos, what we always wanted Justin Gage to do, which he finally did in his last fight. It's like he's throwing hands, but he's also parrying. He's also having defense. He has head movement. He throws kicks in there. He throws with power. I am all in on the Korean Zombie here. And yes, this is a max bet, 5 units at the -125 to win 2.7. Mikey Gills, give us your take on this in terms of DraftKings, and then go down our DraftKings lineup. I say ours as the collective R, the MMAforMoney, our DraftKings lineup for Fight Island 6 or 7, wherever we're at.
So I'm just listening to you guys talk. You guys have pretty much covered everything about Korean Zombie. The one thing I just can't stop thinking about is, like, what would his career have been like if he didn't have to take 4 years off in the middle? Think of all the guys, all the like, he could have fought Connor, like a prime like match right there. That would have been one of those things that we'd probably still be talking about today. We'd be arguing like, no, that was UFC 76 or whatever the hell.